Hi guys, I kind of have a random video for you tonight. First off, I'm really sorry about my appearance. I just showered and got my pajamas and then just jotted some things down uh, for somebody that messaged me and then just kind of got on cam. So sorry about my appearance. But so I got a message today from somebody and they had some questions for me, and it was just easier. It's always easier for me to make a video because when I start writing, I like lose track what I'm thinking, and I mean, like, my brain fibro kills my brain, so it's easier for me to make a video. But so the message I got was asking, without giving you too much personal information about this person, because I don't really, unless they say it's okay, I don't really want to give their personal information out. But she's just asking like what she could do for her fibro because it's gotten pretty bad. She doesn't really like being on medication, but she doesn't really have a choice. And I kind of thought of some things. One of the medications she had told me she was on was gabapentin. I would never ever tell anybody, like, I'm not a doctor, I'm not going to tell you to stop taking your medicine, but I have taken gabapentin, and I feel like that made my fibro so bad. So, I mean, if it's working for you, then it's working for you, but it might be worth it to try another medication. I know when I was on gabapentin, like, I was in a lot of pain before I started taking it, but I ended up on a cane, and like I just couldn't do anything when I was on gabapentin. It just affected my brain in a weird way that made the fibro a lot worse for me. I've had several other people tell me that like gabapentin really actually made their fibro worse. My rheumatologist kind of, I think he thought I was crazy because gabapentin made me gain weight too, and he was like, it doesn't do that, even though the bottle said it did. And no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't lose weight on gabapentin. All I could do was kind of stabilize my weight, and I can't say enough bad things about gabapentin, but if it's working for you, then by all means, continue. That's like a big thing that stuck out to me, though. If you don't really want to be on medications, there's several things you can do. Like, for instance, antidepressants. There is a vitamin called niacin. I think I'm saying that right, but niacin is a natural antidepressant, and there's been studies, like a lot of studies, that show that it works even better than the pharmaceutical, uh, medications that we get for depression. So you might want to look into that. I mean, I use it. I was like, when I was on the gabapentin, I was on a cane, and I was really depressed and in a dark place when my fibro was that bad. So another thing I did is it was like a slow process. I got off my medications, and after about a month after being off my medications, I felt better. The only thing I take now is Vicodin and ibuprofen 800 as needed for pain. For me, it was just changing my lifestyle, getting off the medications. Really, once I got off the medications and I started feeling better, because the gabapentin, like I said, just made me feel awful, I started like walking my dog at night, and then I went to like going to the gym and walking on the treadmill, and from there it was like just bumping up a little bit when I felt better, what I did for exercise. Another huge thing that I can't stress enough is what you're putting in your body. That has been the one thing that I think helped my fibro the most. And I am like the biggest advocate of saying, do not buy into those gimmicks that'll tell you this will cure your diet, or this will cure your fibro, like this diet, or you just need to do whatever. Like, that's bullshit. I'm sorry. It's just complete bullshit. Your fibro is not going to go away. We're always going to have it unless they find a cure. I mean, it's just what we have to deal with. But your diet really can help your fibro. And the biggest thing of it would be stop eating processed foods, which means you're going to have to stop eating out. Even if you go to like, You know, you might think you're like eating at a restaurant like Chili's or something, so somebody's making it. It can't be that processed, but like really, unless you make it, everything nowadays is processed. Organic foods are really, really expensive, so I would just suggest switching to organic, like fruits and vegetables. Certain ones you always want to get organic. You always want to get organic strawberries. You always want to get organic cantaloupe. Always greens, things that grow in the ground, things that get sprayed with pesticide a lot. It is just, if you're gonna get organic somewhere, that's where I would do it. Also, another thing that might help you is you keep a food journal on your really, really bad days. Well, just keep a food journal in general, but then start to notice patterns like, what did you eat on that day when like your fibro was really, really, really bad? Or the day that you felt kind of good, what did you eat then? And kind of see if there's foods that trigger to make you feel worse. For me, it's caffeine. There is like the nightshade plant diet, which is certain things they say can make fibro worse. I haven't tried that for me. It's just really, okay, I know this thing makes my fibro worse, so I'm not going to have it. I mean, really just cut the processed foods. And it's hard with fibro to, make your food. Like, no one wants to stand there and, chop onions or do whatever. But, I mean, if you have a spouse or someone that can help you, I would have them help you start cooking more and, more whole foods, not frozen stuff. I mean, I'm a big advocate for people that like have kids even. Kids love chicken nuggets and stuff, but you can make homemade chicken nuggets that aren't processed crap like so easily. Really, 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 the biggest thing I really think is food for us with fibro. It's not going to cure you, but it is going to make you feel better. So another thing is, you had mentioned yoga. For me, I freaking hate yoga. It didn't do anything for me. Like, I tried it. I was uncomfortable, and I mean, maybe it was just the yoga class I went to. I have something called kyphosis in my spine, and my spine is not perfectly straight. I can't perfectly stand up straight because my spine is like a hook. For two of my vertebrae are shaped like cheese wedges. So for me, that just it didn't work for me. And the instructor kept telling me to straighten my back, even though I told her ahead of time I physically can't. My gym is opening, like, it's huge new grand opening, and they're going to offer Tai Chi. So I'm going to try that because I heard Tai Chi is also really, really good. The best thing for not losing hope and staying positive is surrounding yourself with people that support you. If you don't have that, I would suggest getting, on the Facebook pages and stuff. And sometimes, sometimes for me, those can even get really, it can just kind of turn into a sob fest. And that can make you even more depressed, though, is the downside is like, all these people suffering and talking about it can make you depressed about your own fibro. It's hard to tell anyone because we're all at different stages in our fibro. I did feel like you at one point. I felt when I was on the Gabapentin and on a cane, I felt hopeless. Like at 27 years old, my life was over, and I just like every day I'm in pain, and I have days where I'm not happy, or I can't do things other people do, and it just depresses me. But I just remind myself that this is just the card I was dealt, and it could be a lot worse. Like for the past, few years, I have a blood disorder they can't diagnose, and I've been scared shitless probably 3 times because they've told me they've decided it's leukemia, it's turned into leukemia. I get all the tests and it's not, and they still tell me to this day that I'm probably going to develop something called a chronic leukemia later in life. And I just constantly remind myself it's fibro, it can't kill me. It may beat me up to hell and back, but it can't kill you. And it sucks, and it's hard to stay positive when you're in pain every day, but you just have to remind yourself, like this this is your one shot and nobody gets out alive. So, you know, make the best of it you can. You're going to have ups and downs. And if anybody ever needs me, I'm here. You can always email me, Facebook me, like inbox me here on YouTube. But it's a mindset for me. I know, like when I had mentioned in my other video, I had got hate mail saying that they didn't even think I had fibro because my attitude was so positive, and just like a lot of crazy things. And it's just how I am. You know, I've had a pretty tough background, like life in general, and I just learned the hard way that you have to make the best of your situation, even if it's as shitty as ours is with this condition. But the main thing I would suggest for you to try is your diet, like the food journal. Just start out with that. You know, write down how you felt, like write down everything you eat. And then if you have a good day, like I said, look back at what you ate. And then if you have another good day, kind of notice those things. But really, the best thing I could suggest is start with your diet. Also, when you can, if your fibro is really bad, you know, just when you can, just try to go out for a little walk or something like low impact, because even the smallest amount of exercise is going to get your endorphins going, and it's going to, you know, cause you to be, you know, happier. Endorphins get released and we feel happier, and that can help with your depression too. But also, I really, really would suggest trying the niacin. I don't remember exactly how much I took when I was dealing with that, but I know if you just Google like niacin for depression, I'm sure you can find how much to take. There is a movie called Food Matters, and that really, 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 really changed my life. If you can, look on Netflix. They usually always have it on Netflix, or I think you can go to the site and actually download the DVD. I don't know how much it costs, but if you have Netflix, check Netflix first. Because that's where I learned about the niacin and a lot of other things. The one thing that pissed me off in that movie was they kind of were hinting at, oh, if you change your diet, your fibromyalgia will go away. That's the only thing that irritated me, because I did change my diet. My fibro is still here. So, anyways, I hope I answered as many questions as I could. If you have any more, leave me a comment or, you know, message me again. Any questions, anything, anytime. I hope that pretty much covered your questions. Another thing is, you know, you're older than me, and right now, you know, I'm only 28, so I mean, my fibro could get a lot worse. These things might not work for me when I'm in my 50s. But just start with your diet. Let me know how that goes. Start with a food journal, and talk to your doctor about the gabapentin. And how did you feel before you were on gabapentin? Or maybe try something else. Was your symptoms as bad before the gabapentin, or have you seen like a significant change since you started taking it? Yeah, and do some research about niacin. I can't say enough about it. And check out Food Matters. That documentary is awesome. Anyways, like I said, I hope I helped, or anyone watching this, if that helped you, awesome. Just let me know if you need anything else. All right, gentle hugs.